Hey guys, it's Holly, and today I wanted to take a look at the LEGO Star Wars Imperial TIE Fighter 2021 set. Now this set retails for $40 US or 70 Australian. It's a lot for us, which kind of sucks, but this set has 432 pieces and is notoriously smaller than a lot of the other TIE Fighters that we've seen in previous years. So this is set 75300, and honestly, I didn't plan on picking this set up, not at all really. I mean, I had a feeling that maybe I might want to go and get it, but I definitely didn't plan getting it this early. But after building the X-Wing, I couldn't help but want a TIE Fighter to go along with it, and I feel like the advantage of this set over the X-Wing is that it's a great army building ship with its low price point at $40 and a lot of just generic figures that you could really like build an army with. Like, I would love to have more stormtroopers. The NIL-8 droid as well is really cool looking. Like, it would be awesome to have a few of them, and honestly the compact size would be really good to make a few mocks out of it, and I think it fits really nicely. So before we take a close look at the set, I want to have a look at these minifigures. So our first minifigure is the TIE Fighter pilot, and I love these TIE Fighter helmets in LEGO. I think they look absolutely amazing, and he's got some really nice detailing on the torso and legs as well. He also does come with a short black pistol, even though he can't really hold on to that while actually flying. And when you take the helmet off, you do get the Lucius Malfoy, Bruce Wayne, kind of Lex Luthor face, which honestly, mine has got some very kind of fuzzy printing. Like, if I pick it up and you have a close look at it, his eyebrow print looks kind of fuzzy and not that great, honestly. Which is such a shame because it just kind of decreases the figure for me, although luckily he is wearing a helmet, so it's not too bad. Next up, we get a regular old Stormtrooper with those newer, longer helmets, which I personally kind of like. I just think they're a bit long in the face at the front, but the torso and leg design I personally really like, and he does come with a long blaster, and underneath he's kind of got that classic kind of Imperial officer, kind of Hoth Trooper Oliver Wood face, which honestly at first I was kind of shocked that we didn't just get the angry clone face. Like, I think it's kind of a good switch up, but at the same time I really couldn't recognize where it was from, and I had to look it up to find out that yes, it has been used before, but just like the TIE Fighter, most of the time you're going to keep the helmet on, so it really doesn't matter. But I'm always glad to have another Stormtrooper, so I'm glad he's included in this set. And lastly, we have NIL-8 or Annihilate, which is this really cool looking droid. I love the molded head on this figure. It looks amazing, and also the torso and leg print look really cool. I love the colored wires on the chest, but as well as that metallic silver printing, it just looks really good when shining in the light. He's also got some really nice back printing and more of the wires on the back, and honestly it's figures like these and plus the ones that you kind of have to army build that I think really make this set better than some of the other TIE Fighters. Like, it's very easy to get multiples of. You're not going to get mad if you have multiples of these figures. Plus, this is just a really nice looking droid, and I'm glad he's included in this set as well. So here is the TIE Fighter, and a lot of people do believe that it's a bit small. Honestly, it's slightly bigger than I thought it was. I do think the wings could have done with being just a tiny bit bigger. Like, I feel like maybe 2 or 4 studs larger, and I think it would have been a bit better. Not necessarily more pieces, just larger plates used. I love how they've done the outer rim using these mixel joints. I think that was really good, and I also love the design of just having the tiles sticking out, as well as kind of having these lollipop sticks here and these printed tiles on the center, which look really nice and add a lot of detail. I'm glad this set doesn't have any stickers. It made for a much more enjoyable build, but also the wings have quite a lot of texture because of the way they were built to kind of display this wing design on it, which looks really cool. The cockpit is obviously the main attraction here, and you do get this really nice printed dish piece which you can open up and kind of stick your TIE Fighter pilot in there. There are these little hinges with some red buttons, which I'm not too sure on why they're there, and then you can also pop this top off, which also has a really nice print to it, and inside there is where you stick your TIE Fighter pilot. You just take his little blaster off, fold his arms off, and he just sits in there like that. The cockpit is a tiny bit snug, and he doesn't sit in there like on top of studs. He kind of just places in there, which I guess isn't too bad. And then you kind of lock him in with those studs, closing that up and closing up the lid. And then you've got your TIE fighter pilot, who you can kind of see in there, not really. There he is, smiling at us, about to cause mass destruction. The rest of the cockpit is kind of just built up so that you can have it sticking out. The wings are connected using this really nice Technic joint here, and then they are attached with 3 pins. And unlike the X-Wing, from what I can tell, these joints are really sturdy. They kind of swivel up and down a bit purely because it's 3 Technic pins across and there are none up and down, but it's a lot more sturdier than I found the X-Wing to be, which I'm really glad about personally. Also at the back you have some slight detailing with a few studs and some round dish pieces, and you've got the flick fire missiles kind of switching out. I don't know why I call them flick fire missiles. They're spring-loaded shooters, so you press down on them at the back and they do go firing forward, and I really don't want to lose that, but there it is. I also like how in this set you do get bright transparent green ones compared to the classic red missiles that we seem to get in everything else. I think it's really nice and just makes for a more interesting looking set, because especially in space, not all of the lasers are the same color, so it's nice to have a bit of variation in that regard. But besides that, there's not really too much else to the TIE fighter. I really like the cockpit design. I like how kind of interesting it is with all these different slope pieces and how well they managed to do it in such a kind of confined space. There isn't too much head clearance for our TIE fighter pilot, but then again, he doesn't really need it. We're not minifigures, even though, I mean, it might be a bit claustrophobic in that cockpit for him. He's just got a thick helmet. That's his own fault. I think overall the design came together really well, and I know quite a few people are like, oh, it's just another TIE fighter, like boo, like I want something new. To me, I'm glad that they've done this. It kind of ties in with The Mandalorian, which again is why I think they chose all of these ships specifically. I think they might have kind of been hinted towards that, oh, these will pop up. You should probably make some of these Lego, because it kind of links in. And I think with this one specifically, probably links in the most because it doesn't have any distinctly original trilogy figures. But also, like I said, it's a great army building set. It would be great for mock builders doing like a midi scale mock type of thing. You can buy multiples of these because they're cheap, and especially if they go on sale, this is going to be a great bargain. So that is the Imperial TIE Fighter, and honestly, I quite enjoy it. I think I probably would not want to pay full price for this ship again. I think US dollars, it's probably a pretty good deal, honestly. Maybe a tiny bit much for what the wing size is, but in general, I'm just glad that these ships are cheaper. I'm glad that Lego Star Wars is becoming cheaper, because it's notoriously known to be a very expensive theme, when this kind of shows that it doesn't have to be. It makes it a lot more accessible for a lot more people, and I'm telling you, if this is any more expensive, I definitely wouldn't have bought this set. So I'm glad that it is a bit cheaper, and I think definitely if you can find this for 10, 20, 25% off, get some. It would be amazing, especially if you're a mock builder or an army builder. I think this is a fantastic set. You get some great minifigures which you can build and kind of have multiples of with it not really being a problem, as well as the ship's design. I think it looks really well, and it's going to pair really nicely with the X-Wing or even just any other TIE fighters you have. And I think this is a great set for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's cheaper. It's more accessible. Secondly, if you don't have a TIE fighter, this is a great starting point because it's a really well-built ship with quite a lot of detail, I'm surprised, in such a small size. If you've already got a TIE fighter, maybe give this one a pass. Save yourself some money, wait for the summer sets. But if you don't have one, I do have to recommend this ship. I personally really enjoy it. It's my first TIE fighter that I've built. I do own the 4+ one, which was kind of like a Lego store X display piece, so I never actually got to build it. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see this and the X-Wing go flying and chasing each other being strapped to my ceiling fan, please subscribe to my channel as well, and stay tuned for that video in the upcoming future. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.